All right, guys, welcome back to the podcast. We are back again with another podcast for you guys. Seth's not joining me on this podcast. You're going to just get me today, but wanted to talk about a few things going on and let you guys know kind of what's going on in the world of hunting and outdoors. There's a lot going on right now, guys. I hope you guys are staying in tune with everything. I hope that you're checking the website as often as possible. We're putting up a lot of articles, a lot of news going on right now. We also got some really cool articles on there of just a few different random things like hunting cartridges, top 10 hunting cartridges, or underrated hunting cartridges. We're going to do a podcast just on that. Seth and I will. But also, you know, some of our articles like our Legends Never Die photo series. I don't know if you guys haven't seen that. You really ought to hop on and check that out. There's some really cool photos in there from back in the day, really back in the glory days of Wyoming. I'm sure for all of you that have been following eHunter for a while now, you've seen that. You know we've had it on there for, like I said, for quite some time, and the photos are absolutely amazing. They were taken by Albert Ellis there in Wyoming on the Winter Range, back in the Popeye and Morty and Scar days of just kind of the glory days of some of these animals, and we have a lot of their photos taken by him back in those days, and the quality is amazing. So if you're on the website, you can go to the big game section, and the first thing that pops up is the Legends Never Die series, and all the pictures are under there. In fact, Seth also just put up a recent article where it has all the photos from the Legends Never Die in one nice article. So go and check that out on the website. Before we get started, though, today, as always, want to thank the people that make this whole thing possible. Vortex Optics, huge one. Onyx Maps. Manscaped. Make sure that with the Manscaped, you guys are using the code eHunter. That's EHUNTR. Get you 20% off and get you some awesome stuff. Had a lot of friends and family members that have grabbed onto those and purchased some. A lot of people really love the Weed Whacker. It's awesome for nose and ears trimming. But they have the beard trimmer, obviously the Lawnmower 4.0, which is for the nether regions. But that is all their stuff is awesome. They also have a like a monthly plan. I don't even know what you call it, a box plan where it keeps coming to you if you want to do something like that. But been using their products now for a little while, and they're pretty amazing. I'm not gonna lie, I love their stuff. So check them out again. It's Manscaped. Use the code eHunter at checkout. Save yourself 20% and also support us here at the podcast. There's lots of different things, guys, to help support us. If you follow us on social media, you'll see us posting stories of different things going on, different sales that we can get commission on. So appreciate the support of the podcast and the website, the YouTube channel, everything. Make sure that you're subscribed to everything. Just put up a cool Arizona video from our Arizona archery hunt that we did back in January, myself and my friend Chad Feber. Really short video. It's only about 5 minutes long. Didn't get a lot of footage, but one of the best kill shots that you'll see by a bow on camera. So if you haven't seen that video, you need to go check it out because it's pretty impressive. So oddly enough, it wasn't where he was aiming for sure, but it struck true, and it's just an amazing. I'm not going to get away because I want you guys to go watch the video again. It's only a 5-minute video, so go check it out. It's pretty awesome. So, and again, make sure that you're subscribed to our YouTube channel. Also wanted to let you guys know we're really kind of coming to the deadlines of some of these hunt application seasons. So Montana just ended April 1st. And then this podcast is probably going to come out on the 3rd, which is the day before Colorado closes. Colorado closes on the 4th of April. And then Utah's the end of the month. I believe it's the 27th. Don't quote me on that. Might have to look that up. There's also an article on our website about that. So just make sure that if you're putting in for these states and are hoping to get drawn, that you're getting these applications put in. Some of them you can amend after you put them in, but obviously if that deadline's coming to the end, you're running out of time to amend those as well. So stay on top of it. Like I said, you already missed the Montana one that was open, but Colorado closes here quickly and Utah closes quickly. So just make sure that you guys are on top of those. And like I said, stay on our website. We put reminders on there. We put tips and tricks. We put links on where to apply if you live in a state that you haven't, or maybe an area that you haven't applied to some of these hunts, you can go on and click those links, create an account, put in your information, and put in for some of these hunts. Guys, you can't get a tag unless you put in for the hunt. So that's kind of that first step. It's half the fun. It's half the battle, honestly, is getting that tag. You guys have heard us talk about it a lot on this podcast, where we've been putting in for a lot of years to get some of these coveted tags, and we're getting to the point now that we should start drawing some of them and doing some really fun stuff. I'm having a little bit of a dilemma right now. I wish Seth was on here to chat with me about it. In fact, I'd love to know your guys' opinions. So reach out to us, either put a comment on the podcast or on social media. Trying to debate whether I want to go to Canada in September to do a bear hunt, or if I draw my elk tag to go elk hunting. I'm having a hard time. It's really hard to not be hunting elk if possible in September. And September's always just kind of been that coveted elk season. Like I just kind of give September to elk, kind of like I give October, November to mule deer. Right in the middle of the rut. Even if I don't have a tag, I love being out calling elk. I love being out in their environment with them. There's just something about September and being out with the elk. So having a really huge dilemma here, whether I want to, be in Canada hunting bears or hunting elk, or even just calling elk. I don't know. The way I look at it is, I only have so many Septembers left in my life. I want to take advantage of every September I can. I can go hunt bears almost not any time of the year, but that's something that you can do in the spring or other times of the fall, even October. I'd almost rather give up a deer month for a bear than I would an elk month, because the elk in the rut, for you, those of you that haven't experienced it's pretty amazing. I love being able to go out, call elk, be in their environment, get them in close. It's just something that you only have so many opportunities to do. So I just have to take advantage of it any time that I can. So can't really help myself. So I almost answered my own question here, aren't I, of what I really, really should do. So I don't know. We'll see. But again, make sure you guys are putting in for the hunts that you're hoping to get this year, and let us know what you're doing. Would love to know what you guys are doing, what hunts you have. Please, reach out to us on social media or really anywhere that you possibly can, and would love to hear what your guys' plans are. If you love help or would like help, would love to help you out. If you guys have questions about anything, we've done a lot of these hunts in a lot of these areas, a lot of these states, so we'd be happy to help answer any questions that you guys have, or help get you in contact with any resources that you need to be in contact. And so, all right, so really a couple of things I wanted to talk about today are some of the hot topic items that are on the website, similar to what Seth and I did recently, but I just want you guys to know what's going on. I know not a lot of people are able to get on the website each and every day. On a side note on that, guys, there is a Monday morning quick tip that's going to come out Monday, April 3rd, on a way to make it very easy for you to access eHunter's content. So be on the lookout for that Monday morning quick tip. And if you guys aren't watching our Monday morning quick tips, you're missing out. They're quick, like less than a minute video, where we give some really, really good tips. Just to kind of tell you some of them, like our last one was Jeff Barlow from Sneak Tech Boots. He gave us an awesome Monday morning quick tip on sharpening your knife when you forget your sharpener. If you're by your vehicle, you can actually use the window to sharpen your knife. It's something I never heard of. You guys probably have. I get it. But it's something I had never heard of, and I actually went and tried it, and it works beautifully. I mean, it's not as good as a sharpening stone, but in a pinch, if you're trying to dress an animal and you have nothing else to sharpen your knife, there's nothing worse, you guys know, than trying to dress an animal with a dull knife. And so if you don't have a sharpener, it's a great way to sharpen your knife. Check out that video. It's up on our YouTube page. They're on the shorts, so if you go to the YouTube shorts on our page, you're gonna see all of our Monday morning quick tips. Again, they're less than 60 seconds. Quick Monday morning quick tips. So I think they're valuable, extremely valuable. Can really help out in a pinch. A lot of them can really help out in your hunting adventures. So, but anyways, make sure you're checking that out. And like I said, on the 3rd of April, we're going to release one that will help you access the content on eHunter very easily every day. I think it's a really cool tip. So I'm not going to give you more detail than that. You guys got to check out the YouTube page and watch that video to see what that is. So speaking of content on the website, so a couple of things that have really gotten a lot of attention on there that I wanted to bring to your all's attention on here on the podcast. The first one is the Wyoming is, well, they could set the grizzly bear tags, set the quota at over 30 bears. So grizzly bear hunting in Wyoming has been something that people have been wanting them to do. They wanted them to remove them from the Endangered Species Act protections list. And sounds like it's going to be happening. And so with that, they're looking to put a quote out there for the number of tags at over 30. So I think what it said in our article was 10 female grizzly bears and 29 males is that's kind of the maximum is what they're looking to put out there. So we'll see what happens. And what the impact will be on it. I know there's a lot of people like, oh, I don't know about this. What is this going to do? The numbers of bears. If you've hunted in Wyoming or in that area lately, you know that the numbers have grown significantly. I think they're up over 1,000 bears and what they're counting in that area. So grizzly bears, excuse me. I keep saying bears, but grizzly bears. And so trying to keep that number at a manageable number by starting to hunt them, remove them from the endangered species list, and actually be able to hunt them. And so, again, there's a lot more information on the website about that, but that's one that I know that a lot of people have wondered about. Some of the people really look forward to it at some point to get their hands on one of these tags. And so I think that, yeah, if you can and are able to, then I think it's something that you ought to get into. A grizzly, man, I don't know about you guys, but that's kind of like it's up at the top of my list. If it was grizzly bear hunting in September versus elk hunting, yeah, grizzly bears that might actually take the cake on that one. I don't know. I'd love to cross that bridge at some time in my life, but probably really won't happen. But still, that'd be so awesome to hunt grizzly bears. I know there's a lot of people that that's on the bucket list. So another hot topic item is the number of Mexican wolf numbers in Arizona. Wolves are always a hot topic for us. We get a lot of attention on our wolf articles. Now it's not like the Colorado gray wolf introduction. That one is obviously at the top of people's radar, as it is mine. Being a former resident of Colorado and being there during that election, still rubs me wrong that they are doing that. But the Mexican wolf numbers in Arizona is something that they've kept an eye on as well. And so trying to manage those numbers, because they were also an introduction or a reintroduction, if you will, into Arizona, and so they've really been monitoring the numbers, the population of Mexican wolves in Arizona, and what they're seeing right now is that they are on the rise in certain areas, and the areas are listed in our article, so you can go in and check that out. But just to kind of fill you guys in on some of that to let you know that if you are hunting in Arizona, these numbers are going up. I know a lot of guys that hunt coyotes in Arizona, and so something to be aware of is as these numbers go up, there might be more and more encounters, and you really got to know what you're looking at. So the Mexican wolves versus the gray wolves that are coming to Colorado are very different. The Mexican wolf looks very similar actually to a coyote. So anyways, just make sure and check out that article that talks about those ones. Another thing that I wanted to talk about on this podcast, and I'm going to try and keep this pretty quick, but I wanted to make sure that you guys were aware of some of the stuff going on. I try to not be very political on the podcast. Try to keep as much politics out of it as possible, but when you're dealing with the news, there's a lot that kind of comes into the world in which we live in. And so one of the areas that I think you guys are probably well aware of right now is the school shootings. There was a one in Tennessee recently, and created a lot of uproar, a lot of questions, things like that. And I don't know if you guys saw this, but President Biden, he came to talk about the shooting and how big of a deal this was. And by the way, guys, we don't have an article up on our website about this. I don't know that we will, to be honest with you, but I wanted to put it on here because I think that it needs some attention, because I think unless we do something, we might be in a world of hurt when it comes to some of our firearms, specifically and obviously the AR-15. That's the one that's specifically under attack by President Biden, and unjustly so. Yeah, I don't know that he knows which way's up and which way's down, to be honest with you right now, but he definitely doesn't understand how these things take place, what causes them. His agenda, he's just trying to push his agenda, and I don't even know that it's his agenda. I don't even know that he's got the capacity to make it be his agenda at this point. It's somebody's agenda. I'm really going to try and keep my my politics and biases held back right now, because it's making me just absolutely crazy. But they're trying to push this agenda of it's the gun's fault, and it's specifically this gun. And that's really, I think there's a bigger picture of why they're trying to push that agenda. But the bigger agenda here is not the gun. And I'm probably preaching to the choir here, and I'm sure most of the men and women listening to this podcast are nodding their head with me like, yep, absolutely. It's not the gun. It's the person. It's mental illness. It's really the problem that is persistent in our society today. And whether that's because of the things we consume via social media or just TV, media, any way we consume it, our lifestyles nowadays, I strongly believe that diet, exercise, being outside impacts our mental capacity. And so you guys may not know this about me. I am a nurse by trade. Don't laugh at that, guys. I'm a master's level nurse, and I've done a lot of study on mental illnesses and the things that impact mental illnesses. And honestly, some of the stuff that it impacts is very simple. Getting outside. And again, I'm preaching to the choir because I'm hoping that most of the people that listen to this podcast are people that get outside. I hope you're getting outside to shed hunt, or hoping to get outside to shed hunt here in another month, or just being outside hiking, hunting, whatever, walking your dog, just being outside. We're a community that likes to be outside, and I think you'd see in this community, mental illness is very low compared to a society that spends a lot of time indoors, watching TV, playing video games, on social media. And I'm not saying that those are terrible and you should never do them. Please don't think that. But the reality is those things can definitely negatively impact a person's mental stability. And so there's a bigger picture to this, guys. And I just want to bring attention to this. I feel very passionate about this. Just because I see the writing on the wall of the threat to our guns and our rights, our Second Amendment rights. I'm definitely, I'm an NRA member, as I'm sure most of you are as well. So you see the content that's put out by the NRA. But I don't know. I feel like we've got to do something about this. And again, I worry about our president. Did you guys hear what President Biden said about this? I need to play this video clip for you, or this audio clip for you. So he was called to, or obviously, with the tragedy that happened in Tennessee, in Nashville, he was to come and speak about what happened. This is a very serious incident. It was a transgender individual that did this school shooting. And there's a lot to talk about and unpack on that, but we'll leave that for another day, possibly. But President Biden didn't really take this very seriously. I want to share with you what he said.
My name is Joe Biden. I'm Dr. Joe Biden's husband. And I ate Jenny's ice cream, chocolate chip. I came down because I heard there was chocolate chip ice cream. By the way, I have a whole refrigerator full upstairs. You think I'm kidding? I'm not. God, Ben, how are you, pal? One of the best guys in the United States Congress, Ben Cardin. Folks, welcome to the White House.
Unreal, guys. I don't even know what to say. His reaction, the media's reaction to that just blows my mind. He's come down here. Why he came down there was for chocolate chip ice cream. That's what he said. I came down here because I heard there was chocolate chip ice cream. He's coming to talk about a school shooting by a transgender individual. This is very serious. I was talking about hot topics with Colorado wolf introduction. This is a hot topic. First, he has to introduce himself. I'm Joe Biden. I'm Dr. Joe Biden's husband. Like, okay, do you really need to introduce yourself? I mean, I think most people should know who you are and that you're Joe Biden's husband. I mean, albeit, she's probably more relevant than he is at this point, but kind of ridiculous. And then just going into the whole, I came down here because I heard there was chocolate chip ice cream. You think I'm kidding? It's just, guys, this scares me. And I really wanted to talk about this today. It's the whole purpose really behind doing this podcast. Definitely I want to talk about what's going on the website and the news articles, and I hope you guys are staying attuned to those as well. But I hope you're staying attuned to what's going on in our government. I think that we have got to stay alert as to what's happening around us, because if things get out of hand and things continue to get introduced that we don't want introduced, if things if agendas keep getting pushed that we don't want to be pushed. For example, if you listen to our last podcast, we talked about the cougar hunting in Utah, how that was introduced and how that was put into law. And by the way, guys, just on an update on that was passed by the governor. So you can hunt mountain lions in Utah kind of like you do coyotes. There's not a specific season or whatever. I mean, there's still, you have to have a hunting license and things like that, but it passed and they snuck it in there. They did it absolutely the wrong way. Listen up, hunters and outdoorsmen. You've been living in a tent, roughing it in the great outdoors for over a week while chasing bucks or elk or whatever. Your beard may be coming in nicely, but there's one area that needs some attention when you get back home. We're talking about your nether regions, fellas. That's where the Lawnmower 4.0 from Manscaped comes in handy. This tool is designed to tackle even the wildest of forests while keeping your precious gun safe from any mishaps. With a ceramic blade that won't nick or snag and skin-safe technology, the Lawnmower 4.0 is the ultimate way to clean up down there after a week of roughing it. It's waterproof, so you can use it in the shower when you get home. You could use it in a lake, or I guess even if you get desperate, you could use it in a muddy puddle. So when you finally make it back to civilization after weeks in the wilderness, make sure you've got the Lawnmower 4.0 waiting for you. Your family jewels and any lady friends will thank you as well. Use the code eHunter at checkout and get 20% off of any item. Again, that's eHunter, EHUNTR, at checkout and get 20% off any item. And I'm very nervous about what our government's doing. And now I'm not a tinfoil hat kind of guy or anything like that. The reason I'm doing this is because I just want to bring attention to you all about what's going on. I'm sure you all have heard that clip by President Biden up to this point. It's been everywhere. I think there's been a lot of outlash about that. The comments that were made about that. I agree with most of the people that I've seen comment about it. The NRA put some stuff on about it. But again, guys, I just want to bring attention to that. I think if we continue to let these things get pushed, this agenda of it's the gun's fault, I think we're going to get ourselves in trouble. We've got to get back to the root cause of it. One thing that I use in my business a lot is it's called the 5 whys. And basically you ask the question why 5 times to get to the root cause of a problem. Many of you have probably done this practice or a similar type of practice. And really you can say, why are these school shootings happening? Okay, here's the answer to that. But why is that happening? And then, okay, but here's the answer to that. But why is that happening? And if you really do that process, it's a tried and true process, if you get down to the bottom of it, it really comes down to what's causing these mental illnesses is really what it comes down to. And what the mental stability of people. And so we've got to make sure that people are enjoying life. They're getting outside. They're doing the things that can help fight these mental illnesses. Again, I'm taking this very passionate because I am a healthcare worker, and I see this a lot, and I have seen this a lot in my career. And so I just want to make sure that people are aware of the why behind this, but then also don't let it get out of hand. Make sure that you're speaking up. Don't let the wrong people speak up too loudly about this. I think that we also need to take our own stance on this. Guys, I'd love to know your thoughts on this topic. Again, this is a hot topic. This is something that's very huge right now. We're seeing a lot of shootings and issues going on that are attacking. And they're sad. They're definitely attacking what we're doing, but they're sad. People are losing their lives. People are losing their family members. It's a terrible, terrible issue. But at the end of the day, it's not because of a gun. It's not because of a certain type of gun. It's definitely not because a person has a high capacity magazine. It's not because a person has a bump stock. Yeah, people can kill people with a lot of other things. It's not the gun. It's definitely the person. Again, I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but what I am asking for those that do listen is that we make sure that people understand the why behind this, the reason behind this. And it's not the gun. It truly isn't. And if, the government was to have their way and ban these guns and really all guns, the only person that's going to hurt are the people, the law-abiding citizens. The people that want to do this are still going to find ways to get these guns. No different than anything else that's illegal in the United States. Drugs, whatever. People that want to get their hands on it, they're going to get their hands on it. The law-abiding citizens aren't going to do it. So again, it's just going to hurt us as law-abiding citizens that are trying to do the right thing. And it just aches me. So I wanted to get this out to you guys and talk a little bit about this. I would love to get some dialogue going about this, guys. I'd love to have some conversation on our social media pages. So look for the post on our Instagram or on Facebook about this podcast. Let us know your thoughts on that. Maybe I'm wrong. I highly doubt it on this, but maybe I don't see the full picture. Love to get your guys' thoughts and maybe experiences, your knowledge on it. Again, I'm a healthcare worker. I've seen this. I've worked with this. But, maybe there's somebody out there that's a counselor or something like that has more knowledge on this. I think we need to get as much knowledge out there as possible to everybody. I think we need to get the truth out there. We can't let an agenda that's incorrect be pushed. So, and I apologize that I've been ranting about this and been on my soapbox about this, but I wanted to play that clip for you guys. I wanted you guys to know what's going on out there if you haven't seen it already. I'm sure a lot of you have. And again, like I said, guys, we don't get very political on this podcast. We try to actually avoid the biases and the politics on it, but I felt like this was an important one that we needed to talk about before it gets out of hand. And there's a lot of nonprofits and a lot of agencies out there trying to combat this and help educate people on the why behind this. But we need numbers. We need people. We need the volume of people to speak out about this. It really is a numbers thing. If more people that speak out about guns are louder than the people that speak out about mental illness and the real true problem of this, then the gun side's going to win, and they will push this just like they did the mountain lions here in Utah. They'll get their agenda across if we allow them to, and so we definitely have to fight back against this. So. All right, guys. Well, that's really the majority of the things that I wanted to talk about on today's podcast. We got a couple of guests coming up on our next podcast. Going to talk about some of the cool products that are out there. One of them being I don't know if you guys follow the Mountain Archery Fest, but they have some amazing chairs for individuals that aren't able to ambulate. And so they can use these track chairs to do the Mountain Archery Fest as well as hunt in these chairs. It takes a person that thinks that they can't hunt ever again and give them that opportunity to do what they love. So gonna do that. Gonna do some more medical things as well. I think that as we're in the off season here, you guys need to know what you need to be doing to prepare. So healthy diets, going to talk a little bit about that and what can help you prepare for the hunting season. Also, just endurance training, strength training, physiology stuff, just making sure that you guys, kind of know the ins and outs. Gonna maybe geek out a little bit again, like I just told you guys, if you weren't aware, I am a nurse and a healthcare worker, and I've got some really good friends that are in the healthcare world, whether it be physical therapists or registered dietitians, and we're gonna talk a little bit about some of the things that you can do to help improve your hunting experience, because definitely, guys, your fitness, man, it definitely makes a difference. So look forward to those podcasts coming out here in the coming weeks. But again, guys, if you have any thoughts or questions about any of the stuff that I talked about today, would love to hear from you guys. Would love to know some of your thoughts on it. Social media is probably the best place to comment. So look for that post to come out on Monday and reply back and let us know kind of your thoughts and feelings on it. And again, maybe I'm off track, maybe I'm not. But I'd also love to know kind of your thoughts on the grizzly hunting in Wyoming. Do you feel like it's a good idea? Do you feel like it's not a good idea? Mexican wolves. Also, if you guys go on the website, you're going to see tons of other articles as well, of some of the news. There's also some deadlines that are on there. I kind of talked about a few of them, but there's definitely more out there. Some deadlines coming up. And then, like I said in the beginning, make sure and check out those photos on our Legends Never Die series. Guys, as we close out, just want to, again, thank those that help make this possible. We appreciate your guys' support. Last shout out, to Vortex Optics. Been, spending quite a bit of time behind them lately. Haven't been able to get out and walk and shed hunt like I wanted to. So kind of just been watching animals and seeing what's going on and just spending some time behind glass. Trying out some new products with Phone Scope, as well as some other brands, and just really enjoying some of the stuff that Vortex has for us to use. So, guys, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, like, comment, please leave us a review if you can on the podcast platform that you listen to us on. That is a huge help for us. Again, guys, appreciate it. Be well. Talk to y'all soon.